Imagine waking up, surrounded by an infinite void, an unending universe with no guidebook, no direction, no inherent purpose. Now ask yourself, does this fill you with freedom or fear? Welcome to the philosophical realms of nihilism, existentialism, and absurdism. Humans have always searched for meaning through religion, science, art, and philosophy. Yet, as our understanding of the world deepened, some began to question whether any meaning exists at all. This is where three philosophical perspectives take the stage. Nihilism, which suggests life is inherently meaningless. Existentialism, which argues meaning is self-created. And absurdism, which wrestles with the contradiction of seeking meaning in a meaningless universe. Nihilism, derived from the Latin word nihil, meaning nothing, is often misunderstood as a philosophy of despair. Friedrich Nietzsche, one of the most famous proponents of this concept, defined it as the moment when the highest values devalue themselves. In other words, the very foundations on which we build our values, truth, morality, purpose, are called into question. Nihilism holds that since there's no ultimate purpose or absolute morality, everything we believe, every value we hold, is at its core empty. Nihilism argues that existence is a random phenomenon, a cosmic accident, and our search for meaning is ultimately fruitless. For some, this revelation can be paralyzing, like staring into an abyss. But for others, it can be liberating. Modern nihilists see this emptiness as a clean slate, a chance to redefine values without the constraints of outdated beliefs. However, there's a dangerous side to nihilism. When taken to an extreme, it can lead to despair, cynicism, and the abandonment of moral responsibility. This is what Nietzsche warned against, describing nihilism as a force that could lead humanity to the last man, a passive being who lives without passion or purpose. Existentialism enters as a response to nihilism, offering an alternative to despair. If life has no inherent meaning, existentialists argue, then it's up to each individual to create their own. Jean-Paul Sartre, a leading figure in existentialism, famously stated, "Existence precedes essence." Existentialism begins with a daunting realization. If there's no cosmic plan, then every choice we make defines us. Sartre argues that in this freedom, humans bear the weight of responsibility to shape their lives and values, an idea he calls radical freedom. While this is exhilarating, it can also be terrifying. With no guidelines, no blueprint, every decision becomes a question of meaning and authenticity. Existentialists like Camus and de Beauvoir explored what it means to live an authentic life, unclouded by societal expectations. To them, meaning is something we actively create by embracing our choices, acknowledging our freedom, and living authentically in accordance with our true selves. Absurdism, championed by Albert Camus, is perhaps the most poetic of these philosophies. While nihilism and existentialism either reject or create meaning, absurdism finds itself stuck between the two, acknowledging the absurd tension between humanity's desire for purpose and the universe's indifference. Camus uses the Greek myth of Sisyphus to illustrate absurdism. Sisyphus, condemned to roll a boulder up a hill for eternity only to watch it roll back down, represents the human condition, striving for meaning in a world that offers none. Yet Camus' Sisyphus does not despair. Instead, he accepts the absurdity and, in this acceptance, finds freedom. Absurdism, then, is a celebration of life's contradictions. While life has no inherent purpose, we can find joy and beauty in the struggle. Camus doesn't advise resignation. He advocates rebellion against the absurd, suggesting that meaninglessness is not a barrier to happiness, but a backdrop against which we can embrace life's fleeting, beautiful moments. Now that we've explored each philosophy, how do they compare? Nihilism, existentialism, and absurdism may seem similar. They all begin with the absence of inherent meaning. Yet, they each offer distinct ways of dealing with it. In short, nihilism confronts us with the emptiness of life. Existentialism inspires us to fill it with our choices, and absurdism invites us to dance with the contradiction. Philosophies like nihilism, existentialism, and absurdism aren't just intellectual exercises. They reflect the deeply human experience of grappling with the unknown. Whether we choose to despair, create, or rebel, we are all united by our search for meaning. As you move forward, ask yourself, what will you make of the void? Thank you for joining us on this philosophical journey. If you're intrigued, if this stirs questions within you, join the conversation. Subscribe, like, and leave a comment below with your thoughts. Together, we can explore these ideas and perhaps find meaning in the search itself.